Hello, my amazing fourth grade artists. Today we're going to be creating this mixed media piece of artwork of a vase with flowers. And it's mixed media because it's not all the same material used for the entire piece. We're going to be using some patterned paper, some painted paper, some model magic, and some tempera paint in this. So lots of different materials that we're going to use to create this fun piece. And this was inspired by the artist Vincent Van Gogh. He was an artist who loved to paint sunflowers. He painted lots of different things, but he's really famous for his sunflowers. Let me show you a picture of Van Gogh and tell you a little about him. This is a self-portrait of Vincent Van Gogh. So he painted this of himself. He either looked at a photograph or he looked in a mirror. That's how artists paint self-portraits. And he's from the Netherlands. He was born in 1853. And he's very famous for his expressive brush strokes. If you see all in the background, you can see all these swirls and lines he made with his paint. And his paint is often very thick. If you were to see this in real life, the paint would be sticking off the canvas a little bit. It took it a long time to dry. And there's lots of movement. It looks like the background is moving with all the swirls. His jacket has a lot of movement. Even his face, you can see the individual brush strokes. So he liked to paint sunflowers, and your teacher is going to have two different paintings of sunflowers to show you, and she'll talk to you a little bit about that. But I wanted to show you this one. This is one of my favorites. I like the bright, warm colors he used, the different shades of yellow. And you can see in there all those brush strokes in the back. You can see where it sticks up, and on the sunflowers also you can see that. So that was the inspiration for this artwork. I'm going to show you how to make it. I think you're going to enjoy this using this Model Magic. This is the one that I made. And so Model Magic is just like air dry clay. If you are a virtual learner, I've seen this at Dollar General before, little individual packs of it. It's really fun. It's like clay, but it'll dry, air dry. You don't have to bake it or anything. So to begin with, your teacher will give you a piece of cardboard, and before all of this, you should have made some painted paper. We're going to use that for our leaves. I have already made a video on how to make painted paper. This is a piece that I made. It's just I've cut it small, and everybody can share painted paper because it's sat for a long time. It's sanitized. It'll be good. And you don't have to use the same painted paper that you made. But you'll be making painted paper using shades of green and yellow. You can add some white in there also to make these pretty bright leaves. So to begin with, you're going to make your vase, and we're going to take a piece of patterned paper. Your teacher will have a stack, and you can pick which one you want, and it's cut in a rectangle, and you're going to turn it vertically. That means the long side going up and down, and I'm going to show you how to make it symmetrical, so it's the same on both sides. We're making a symmetrical vase. So with the long side going up and down, fold it in half. Try to make your edges meet up as best you can. Crease the edge good. Have the open side on the right. See the open side? And the folded side on the left. And we're going to make our vase, okay? So now you can decide what shape you want your vase to be. You could just have a simple rectangle shaped vase. You could have a vase that's triangular shaped. Or you can have a vase that has a curvy edge to it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm still keeping my folded side to the right. I'm going to take my scissors. You're going to cut from the folded side. And if you feel better about it, you could draw your line and cut on that. But I'm just going to cut. I'm going to make a curvy line. This is actually the top of my vase. I'm going to flip it around. It would be upside down right now. And I'm going to go out wide. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, and then that just falls off. Put it out of the way. So see how there's like a curvy line. If you were drawing, you would just draw that. Then you open it up, and we're going to turn it over. And that's our vase. It's symmetrical now. It's the same on both sides. So you would then use your glue stick and glue that onto your cardboard, okay? Now, the next step is you can go ahead or you can wait. At some point, you'll need to make your leaves. So I just took my painted paper and I just cut out leaf shapes. If you feel better about drawing it, draw the leaf shape on the back with your pencil, cut it out, and then if any pencil line is showing, it'll be on the back and it won't mess up your pretty painted paper. So you decide how to do that, and you make some leaves. These are the leaves that I made, but I'm going to wait before I place them. All right, this is the Model Magic. So I'm going to open up my Model Magic. Everybody gets a pack of it. It's fun. It's kind of like Play-Doh. Okay, so you can start by just kind of squishing it around in your hands and getting it softened up. And I'm going to make about 4 flowers. You decide how many you want to make. I wouldn't make too many because it'll crowd your space. I wouldn't make over 4. I'd probably make 3 or 4 if I were you. So so I know I have enough. I'm going to section it off into some pieces. So there's going to be 1. That'll be a flower. This will be a flower. And this will be a flower. So I have 4 pieces now. I'm going to have 4 flowers. So I'm going to show you some techniques for making flowers. Now, you might come up with your own way of making flowers. I'd love to see you be creative and come up with your own way, but this is how I made one. So I started out and I just rolled it into a ball in my hands, like this. In between my palms of my hands, I'm making a ball. Okay. Then, let me scoot this over a little bit so you can see on this blackboard. Then I just lay it down on your table or your desk, whatever you're using, and just kind of flatten it out with the palm of your hand. Okay. Don't make it too flat. Now, I want to show you something neat. You can probably find some things around your classroom that you can use to make patterns on your flowers, but a glue stick is really good because it's got this round cap on it. If I lay that back down and press into there, I have a little circle. I don't know if you can see that, but that can be the center of my flower. And then for the petals, I'm just going to take one of my fingers, decide how big you want them to be. I'm going to use my pinky, and I'm going to go around and kind of press and make these little indentions with my pinky finger. And that's my petals. Can you see that? Very simple. That's one flower. So I'll just put it here for right now. Okay, I'm going to do another flower. This time I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to roll a ball. And just remember, there's lots of different ways you could do this. I'm going to flatten it out. And then a minute ago, I used the cap as my circle. I'm going to try it this way and see what it does. The bottom. Press into there, and it made a different kind of circle shape. And this time, I'm going to kind of, pinch these in together. And that also kind of looks like petals, doesn't it? I would love for you to be creative and think of ways that you can make yours look like a flower. You can just shape it however you want. But that's a nice little flower shape. And I'll sit it here for right now. And then I'm going to make another one. Roll it into a ball. Oops, I had to grab something back there. And I'm going to flatten it out again. And I'm going to use this again for my center. I'll do it this way. And this time, I'm going to you can take a pencil with the eraser. I've just got a Sharpie here. And I'm going to go around and make these. You can find all kinds of things in your classroom. A colored pencil, a marker cap. Be creative and see what you can stamp patterns into your Model Magic with. I'll put that one there. And then this last one, I'm going to make a center with some petals. So I'm going to pull off a piece that'll be my center. And then I'm going to have some petals that'll go around. So I'll make some little pieces that are all about the same size. And I think I'm going to need an even number. That one's a little small, so I'll add a little to it. If I have an even number, it'll come out better. So that's 6. That's an even number. So this is the center. So I'm going to roll it into a ball. And this is the center. I'm not going to make it really big. Whoops. Just kind of flatten it out with that. Put it there. And then I'm going to make my petals. I'm making long, skinny petals. You can make whatever kind of petals you want. I kind of rolled out a long shape, and then you would just put them on there like that. And so I make sure that they come out even if I put one here, I'm going to put one the opposite side of it. So I'm going to put this one here. Kind of rolling away from me. Roll another one. So I'm going to put this one here. And I'll put this one here. See how I'm putting opposites? That way I'll know they'll turn out right. I think I'm going to need to move it a little bit. So I'll put that one there. So because I've got to make these fit right. So I put that one opposite of that. Then I'll have one and one here. You may have made more petals than that. That's okay. I just made 6. So I'll put that one there. And then one more here. And those are my flower pieces. Okay. So after you've kind of got an idea in your head of where you want them, let's just move them over to the side. I'll just sit them up here. And then you have to think about your leaves. Just get all this out of the way. So you should have glued your vase down. And then you'll just start placing some leaves. It's okay if some of the leaves come off of the cardboard. That's okay. But you'll have to keep your Model Magic on there. So kind of be thinking about where you're going to put flowers. So that flower. So what you would do is you would place those where you want them, glue them down, and then put your flower with it. You don't have to glue the flowers down yet. I would maybe have that one like this. Make sure your pretty leaves are showing. I like this nice big leaf. I'm just going to kind of place them, and then I can go back in and move stuff around. You'll just glue as you go. Your teacher has a special kind of glue called tacky glue, and it'll work well with your Model Magic for gluing it down. So then I'd put this one here. I think I'll spread that out a little bit. Then I'd put these there. Now I'm not gluing them, but you would be gluing those. Just kind of placing them. All right, so you place yours how you want and get it all glued down. Use your tacky glue, glue your Model Magic pieces to your paper, to your cardboard, and then you'll make sure you have your name and your teacher's name, your school, your grade on the back, and then you'll let it dry. So it'll take about a week and it'll start getting hardened up. And then when you come back, let me move this one out of the way, you are going to paint your flowers. This is the one that I did. So I painted the center of mine brown, and then I used oranges and yellows to paint the flowers. So you decide how you want to do that. I wanted to show you some examples that I found online of some other school. This is from a website called Painted Paper Art, and they made these. So you see how they did different. This one even looks like a rose, doesn't it? So your teacher will have this that she can show you also. But you decide if you don't want to paint all of yours yellow and orange, that's okay. You can use different colors. I like how on this one they even put some dots in the center. So you decide how you want to paint it. I can't wait to see what you're going to do. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.